Welcome to the Elite Podcast Network, home of the #1 independent wrestling coverage, available on iTunes, Stitcher, blogtalk Radio, and wherever you get your podcasts from. Follow us on Twitter at Elite Podcast Net and join the revolution now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Elite Podcast Network, and this is WH Radio, Wrestling Heads Radio. I am Skits, and I am live here with my co-host. You got Tom and Oscar. What is going on, gentlemen? What a weekend, right?
Crazy weekend. Lots going down in wrestling and in sports. Basketball is coming back this week. We got hockey going. Football is in full swing, college football, wrestling, so much going on. I can't even keep up with it, man. It's so tough to keep up.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on that, dude. Like New Japan, they just they had their Super Junior tag team tournament going on right now, and I'm like super behind. I haven't got to see day one yet, and later on I'm going to mention a match that's happening, part of the tournament. I think round 2. But how's your weekend? How was your weekend, Oscar? Is Oscar there?
doesn't sound like he is.
I guess
this should be an interesting week because we'll probably mention it more Thursday. But we got a Halloween coming up this weekend. Couple of indie shows going on this weekend. I'm most likely going to a Halloween theme show. I don't know what I'm dressing up as. I always wait till the last minute to decide my Halloween costume.
The easiest I would say costume is being a referee. All you need is a referee T-shirt, black pants, shoes. You're good to go. But enough about Halloween. Speaking about it was kind of a Halloween theme. Hell in the Cell pay-per-view last night. It was crazy. Crazy results. I mean, shockers or whatnot. I mean,
now,
damn.
You were working. I know because you worked at the Staples Center. You weren't actually watching the event. You were working. Right?
Oh, I was watching. I was definitely watching the fucking event, bro. Once I got everybody in their seats, you think I wasn't watching that shit?
I don't know. You might have been busy doing what you do. I don't know.
But let's go through. Let's talk about the pre-show first. With basically you have the team of Cesaro, Dolph Ziggler, and Adrian Neville going against the team of Wade Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev. All I have to say is Cesaro was on fire. Basically, the match seemed like it was like a Cesaro type of match because Cesaro was like that guy in the match. Like, he was on fire. Like, I've never seen Cesaro on fire like that in a while. And plus, seeing him live, I feel like he kind of changed his style up a little bit. And seeing it live, like, it was crazy. Like, uppercuts. Like, we call it a super kick party. It was like a fucking uppercut party, like, last night at the Staples Center. And this was a pre-show.
Yeah, the pre-show match, it was, it was what it was. I can't say it was good or it was bad. It was kind of in the middle. Each guy got some spots in. And like we said, it turned into the Cesaro show for the pre-show because he was going after everybody. He was uppercutting everybody. And it seemed like he was made out to be the main star of the match, which I have no problem with. Like I said, we've been saying for how long that Cesaro needs to be in a better position weekly than he deserves to be. But, it seemed like he was out there, he was motivated, and he wanted to, even though it's funny because the thing was, even though it was on the pre-show, it kind of like
it kind of felt like it was part of the opener. Like really, even though it was a pre-show, I thought like the energy of the fans, like it felt like it was like this is a part of the show. Fuck a pre-show, like that's me being there live. That's what I felt. I don't know if we have Oscar on, but Oscar, your thoughts on that pre-show match?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
All right, good. I don't know what the fuck happened a few minutes ago, but oh well. Yeah, I agree with you. It was, it felt like it was part of the show. I mean, not to be biased, but it seems like LA fans are like, just really were into it, I mean, the first thing, I swear to God, it was the first, when Lily Garcia's music popped up, everybody was going crazy. They know the show's about to start. But, yeah, it was a good match. Cesaro, once again, delivers. And not only Cesaro, you got Dolph and Adrian Neville always delivering. And you got to give some of the guys to pop like Rusev. And, well, you can say a little bit of Barrett. Fucking Sheamus, too. Fuck it. Even though I'm not a big Sheamus fan. But, yeah, what a good way to start the show. I mean, it was a good way to start it,
Yeah, and of course, you got to have the faces get the win, to basically get the crowd energized for the actual show. So basically, Cesaro, Adrian Neville, and Ziggler all won the matchup to start off the pre-show. But it was funny because me and a couple coworkers, because believe it or not, I do have some coworkers actually like wrestling, which I was surprised about. I thought I was the only one that actually wrestling that worked there. But we were talking about, so what's going to be the opening match or whatnot. See, we can't see what's happening on TV, but from what I read on the spoilers, or excuse me, not the spoilers, but the results, I guess JoJo was already talking to John Cena before he came out. And I thought it was going to be like a Kevin Owens Ryback match that opened up, but out of nowhere, John Cena comes out, the place goes crazy with the John Cena sucks, singing along, and I'm like, wow, let's get this shit started. Like,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but before we go further, who do you thought at first was going to be the mystery opponent? Because I know all weekend me and you were discussing who and who's going to be the mystery partner. Like who? It's going to be a Samoa Joe. It's going to be Finn Balor. It's going to be Daniel Bryan. It's going to be James Storm.
Honestly, I had no clue, bro. No fucking clue whatsoever. I mean, it could have been Breeze, but then, Breeze started a feud with Ziggler on SmackDown, so that wouldn't have made sense if Breeze came down to answer. Then there was word that... Then, you saw the rumors of Daniel Bryan. That was a possibility because Daniel Bryan, him and I guess Brie Bella, we saw on Instagram. I guess they went to a wedding or whatnot. So Daniel Bryan was in town. And also another name that was that was on like all the dirt sheets was Samoa Joe, and that could have been him. Like I don't know. What about you?
I actually was thinking Daniel Bryan is because the NXT guys were still in Sacramento. I found out maybe one or a half hour before the show that Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, and Tyler Breeze was still in Sacramento, and I was thinking, okay, there's no way they're gonna make it to LA. Well, if it's the first match, there's no way it can be one of those guys because it's probably like an hour flight to LA to Sacramento, and not only that, who knows how the LA traffic is gonna go down. So I think it'd be just waste of time if it's gonna be one of those guys. So in my mind, I was thinking it had to be Daniel Bryan, but what it ended up being, if you wanna give it out.
And out of nowhere, we have Zeb Coulter come out. When Zeb Coulter came out, I'm like, Where is this going? Because I believe him and Swagger broke up last time I checked.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you this right now. Because I was in the crowd when that music popped up, everybody thought it was Jack Swagger. Like, everybody had a what the fuck is this shit? You know? I guess everybody wanted to see like a surprise. Yeah. But everybody thought Jack Swagger's coming out, and then they're like, what the fuck is this? You know? But then go ahead.
I'm pretty sure everybody was like that was watching on TV. What was your reaction, Tom?
I mean, it was when I saw the Subculture come out. I'm like, well, first of all, everyone thinks Jack Swagger. I'm like, did he reunite with Jack Swagger and they're just doing like this random thing? Why would they do it on pay-per-view? You know, you guys were talking about who you guys thought was going to come out, and I know me and Skitz were talking about it before we got on air. You know, I thought it was like going to be Braun Strowman, Dean Ambrose. You know, James Storm kind of did a little bit of a teaser on Twitter. But, like, it was just crazy. And then out of nowhere, Subculture starts talking, and then out comes freaking Alberto Del Rio. And the pure
that place
shock,
went nuts.
Like, I don't think it registered with people for a second because his music hit, and people were like, wait, what? Del Rio? Wait, he's supposed to hate WWE. Wait, he got fired for slapping, you know, the racist social media manager. Wait, and then he comes out and the place goes crazy. Twitter was going absolute nuts as I was following along. Truly the definition of a surprise and a shocker. Nobody saw this coming. And I was listening late last night because it went up a little while after Hell in a Cell ended, the MLW podcast with Conan and Court Bauer. As we know, both those guys are heavily involved in AAA, and that's the big thing now is that Alberto Del Rio is the AAA mega champion. So now it leads to, okay, he's out of the company, and now the whole thing with Mr. C's Mystic 2.0, and he changed his name again. I think it's like Callistico or something like that. He changed his name again. I have to look it up to see exactly what it is. But now you have two big stars leaving AAA, and Conan was talking about it. Conan was talking about that Del Rio had been talking with WWE for a couple weeks, but he really didn't see it coming either. He didn't think it was going to happen last night, and it leaves AAA in kind of a sticky situation because now they have to get the title off of him. What do they do?
Well, before we get super in depth with that, let's not also forget Lucha Underground. I guess he wasn't happy where Lucha Underground, you know, their writing was going with, you know, the direction for him. So basically, him and Lucha Underground, they parted ways. So a lot of folks were like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, isn't he part of Lucha Underground too?" Like, so folks were like, they have questions. And when it comes back to him working with AAA, according to the contract that he has, he could work less dates, plus finish off his indie bookings that he already had booked. So I'm definitely enjoying like these new contracts that WWE have for guys like Samoa Joe, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, you know, so you know what I mean? Guys like that, James Storm.
And like I said, that's the two big things with Del Rio coming back last night. The two big things are he debuted in WWE, came back to WWE as AAA Mega Champion. So while he was still considered a part of the AAA roster, he's now back in WWE. And let's not, of course, we can't forget why he left WWE. He went on the whole tirade, you know, the social media manager that he slapped, and he got fired for because of all that, and how, you know, he went on different shoot interviews and said, you know, all the racist things that are happening in WWE. So it really seemed like he was kind of out to, you know, kind of expose a lot of stuff in WWE, and he wasn't going to be back for a while, and he's back pretty soon. It hadn't been that long. So I guess money talks. I guess that's a big thing. No matter what grudges you have, money talks. That's the lesson.
Well, one thing that I liked tonight when Del Rio was in action, they mentioned him working with AAA and CMLL and his family. You know, that was pretty cool.
Well, actually, they meant his uncle Mil Mascara.
I said. I don't know if you were listening. I said his family.
All right.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, it was a big surprise. And even in a bigger surprise, he beats John Cena 100% clean, obviously not with the cross arm breaker because, you know, John Cena rarely taps out. So he's just going to get pinned clean. But
how did you guys like that match?
I thought it was good. It was good, but I was just surprised how short it was. I think it went,
I didn't like the finish. Everything was good except the finish.
Yeah, the finish seemed to like come out of the finish seemed to just like come out of nowhere, and it was just like, holy shit, like the real one that quick, because it just seemed like what did he do before the super kick to the head?
He did the backbreaker.
That's right, he did the code breaker, and then straight into the super kick to the head, which they mentioned on commentary, even though commentary was horrible last night. They did mention that that's how he won a world championship. So they kind of did play it up, and they're definitely playing up that super kick. So, like I said, I like the surprise. I like the match. Ending was a little bit quick, but you know what? It looks like a different Del Rio. He looks a lot more aggressive. He looks motivated. Yeah, like I said, the main thing with Del Rio going forward is just making him interesting. You can make him interesting. He's a great in-ring worker. We know this.
Oh, he worked well tonight with Neville, which we'll probably talk about a little later. One thing, I know you guys both watched Raw tonight and last night. Question is he a face or a heel, or is he a tweener?
Okay, well, what it looks like, it's a heel character, and you know, that's what it looks like to me. But I want to give out my thoughts because I was at the show when Del Rio came out. I mean, I swear to God, that reaction was crazy. I mean, it was so loud, the section, all that. I couldn't even hear his fucking music when he was coming out. So that's how crazy it was, you know. And you know, I feel like there's a couple of Lucha Underground people. I hear a couple of guys like next to me yelling out like "C, or Lucha, Lucha." You know, guys go to Lucha Underground, but yeah. But there's one thing you guys got to mention about this. The president of AAA actually tweeted about WWE's return, and he was saying he's proud of him for making his return to WWE, you know, and all this stuff. But I was also thinking, is it possible that contract he signed, like you said earlier, Skits, that he can finish his indie dates? Is it possible that, you know, he will return to AAA and possibly maybe lose or drop the title to somebody who they want to, you know, drop the title with? Because, you know, he's been the champ for a while. And he's supposed
to work with Brian Cage, so it's probably the person he'll be dropping it to.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that rivalry is still going on there. That rivalry has been going on too long already. So might as well have him drop the title to Cage and move on from that. And yeah, but it just seems like the AAA people were supportive for Del Rio for making his return to WWE by looking at all those tweets. And also, Ricardo Rodriguez actually telling me, you know, he's happy to see him back in WWE.
Yeah, definitely do. Let's go ahead and move on to the next match, which I wasn't too shocked that it was the next match. But Hell in a Cell, Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. Mad props to both of these dudes. Probably the match of the night, in my opinion. Roman Reigns went out there and showed folks, like, look, I know a lot of people will talk shit about me, but look, I can also, you know, put on a good match too. Him and Bray Wyatt work so well together. crazy spots in the matchup. The crowd's reaction to the moves that these two did was up to par. Mad props to these dudes. And, of course, Roman Reigns is going to win the feud because, if you go back to when they first started it, Bray Wyatt's the one that started the feud by, interrupting him in the Money in the Bank, by pushing him off the ladder or whatnot. And it basically led on to here. So this feud has been going on for a while. It had Dean Ambrose in it. And, it ended up at the Cell. And I thought it was a great match. Your thoughts, Tom?
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. A lot of good high spots, a couple of table spots. Bray doing the choke slam from the apron through the table to Roman. The spear from the apron to Roman. It was a couple of great spots. I thought Bray looked really good in this match, even though he did lose. You saw him using the kendo stick a lot of the times, kind of like toying with Roman Reigns. We saw a lot of what I think Bray Wyatt should have been, which is, Bray Wyatt doesn't have to go out there and be like the flashiest guy. He doesn't have to do the flashiest moves. He just it's all about his character. And he was doing that. He was toying with him. He was laughing maniacally, but then he would get overpowered by Reigns. And that was the whole concept of the match is that, Bray's just been toying with Roman, and that's what the whole storyline's been. But then Roman is able to defeat Bray Wyatt. So I liked it. It just, I don't understand why it had to be inside Hell in the Cell. Like, this would have been fine as like a street fight or something like that, because that's basically what it was just like a no disqualification match or whatever. So it didn't necessarily have to be inside Hell in the Cell, because they really didn't use the cell too much. But it was still good. Both guys went out there, kicked the shit out of each other, and put on a good match.
Yeah, and I remember, telling you guys, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the match of the night. Like, these dudes definitely came out and had to prove a point, to the guys in the back. But definitely proud of those two. And also, I'm glad the Wyatts didn't get involved, too. Go ahead and share your thoughts with us, Oscar.
Yeah, you know what? I'm like you, Skits. Like, I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. I don't know if I'm ever gonna buy his gear, wear his T-shirt, or buy a vest, anything like that. But I feel bad for the guy. I feel like the guy is putting, his hard work and effort, and I just feel like some of the fans like to shit on him because what? Because what happened earlier in the year, he was not supposed to, get a shot. He don't deserve a shot, but it didn't happen. He didn't win that WWE title moment or whatever. Seth Rollins got it, and it just feels like it's still in there. People still give him shit. There was some boos last night when he came out, but I'm almost like, come on, are you guys over it already?
It's kind of old already, It's kind of old, just like the "you sold out" chants for Seth.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like, come on, like, it's not like he wrestles just like Ryback. Come on, he's a big dude that actually can move and fly, and his match with Bray was not bad. I mean, I like it when they started using. To be honest with you, I didn't expect them to use weapons at all, because I thought it was going to be very limited, and they used tables. I like it how Bray kind of like rock bottomed him through that table from the ring apron. Also like it how Bray set up how the Kindle sticks were, like pointing, and then he's trying to use, trying to hit Roman's face through him or something. Then he actually hit Bray on him, and Roman hit it on Bray, and that's pretty much how they finished the match. But yeah, that match was pretty good. It was a good match. I thought better than I expect, but what a good way to end the feud, you know. I mean, it just ended, sell, now it's time to move on. And yeah, I just give I give props to Roman Reigns for this one. You know, he's busting his tail off. You know, I mean, he's trying to prove some people wrong. He got my support. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I mean, he did bust his ass off in there, and I just hope people could see like what me and you get see in Roman Reigns. You know, it's like it's almost like they want to treat him another John Cena. They want to give shit on him, but you know.
I wouldn't even say he's another John Cena. I think he's better. Almost better.
You could say better. I mean, I'm just saying.
Almost better. You know, hold on, real quick. Let me take that back. Because John Cena is actually good too, but he's. I would say he's like learning more fast than John Cena. Is that a better word to say?
You could say that.
I don't know if I would say that, because you look back at when Cena was doing his basic thugonomics thing, and he was putting on good matches. Like, people forget that Cena's always put on good matches. Like, okay, they weren't, you know, like Shawn Michaels, you know, 5-star type matches, but he was always putting on solid matches. Cena's been a solid worker ever since he came into the company. It's just that you look at the difference in fan bases. You know, when John Cena had the basic thugonomics thing, he was a clear-cut heel. He was being booed. But it was that whole Survivor Series angle where he joined Team Angle, to where John Cena was getting over. John Cena was so over. There was no backlash. There was no people saying, oh, you know, John Cena can't work and all that stuff. You know, he was getting huge fucking reactions from everybody. So I wouldn't say that Roman is learning faster than that, but Roman's definitely getting into a good place. You know, he looks a lot more comfortable in the ring. You know, he's getting also a lot more comfortable with sequences. As we saw tonight on Raw, the finishing sequence to the main event, which we'll talk about. He looked really comfortable then, and it makes him shine. It's those big spots that makes him look good, but he also has to look good when doing the small things, when he's taking a bump, when he's doing, you know, a simple headlock, stuff like that. So
he's definitely put it like this, Tom. I would say he's definitely better than what he was when he was tagging up with Seth Rollins as a tag team partner.
Yeah. I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's move on real quick. Next match, which I was shocked it was the next match, because I thought they were gonna, you know, have the Divas go next, but they had probably the most the two, maybe I would say three, the three biggest stars that are most over right now in the WWE. New Day would they had a tag team match against the Dudley Boys for the World Tag Team titles. But this time it was just Big E and Kofi Kingston who showed up. I guess they're playing the role with Xavier Woods hurt. But there was a lot of rumors that Xavier Woods broke his nose. I'm not sure if it's true. I'm not sure that's why he.
No, I actually heard that he got married this past weekend.
Oh, okay. Congratulations,
right.
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, but don't bother asking me what happened. I mean, I didn't get to see the full match. I actually went out to the used restroom and hope somebody get some beers and stuff. But I missed most of the match. But I heard it was terrible.
Yeah, Devon. I know Tom's seen this for sure. Devon screwed up and botched bad. Which is, you know, something that we don't usually see. You know, the Dudley Boys botch. But Tom, I know you saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw the botch. I don't know what it was. Like, besides the ending, like, this match it was okay. Like, there was just a lot of sloppy spots. It wasn't that great of a match, you know. I've seen
these put like this. These tag teams have worked well together before, but this is not their best match. They
did click tonight. You know, it was an off night. I did like the ending, though. New Day, once again, stealing a win. Obviously, I think, this has to set up a tables match somehow. Because, like I said, that's the Dudley's whole repertoire is tables. It's been like that ever since ECW. But, besides that, like I said, this match wasn't really anything noteworthy. Sloppy spots, a couple of botches. Just really didn't look good. When you're watching it, you're just kind of like, ugh, man, they're really not in sync tonight. But, you got to give props to both teams. Like I said, New Day, they're still entertaining as hell. They're still one of the most entertaining.
And the Dudleys and another thing you got to give props to the Dudleys for still putting these guys over.
Yeah, like I said, they're doing a good job, and Dudley is, even though we're seeing a lot of the same thing week by week, even though we're seeing the Dudleys somehow we're doing 6-man tags against the New Day or something else with the New Day. It feels kind of fresh just to have the Dudleys just in there. It's not the same old tag teams. It's been a while, and, seeing the Dudleys in there is something new. Like I said, even though it's rehashed every single week, at least it's something different, and like I said, this New Day versus Dudley's feud, it's a big tag team feud, so obviously it's going to go on for a while, so it'll probably end by Survivor Series or TLC. Like I said, maybe that's the pay-per-view when they end it. I'd imagine that's when they have to end it, because what would be the point of doing a tables match at Survivor Series when the next show is TLC? So I'm predict early the Dudley Boys, they team up with somebody like Ryback and somebody else against the New Day and somebody else. I'm going to predict that already, so we'll see what happens, though. But let's move on. Nikki Bella, she went against the WWE Divas champion, Charlotte. I gotta give props to these two girls, especially Nikki Bella. A lot of people shit on Nikki Bella, but Nikki Bella, she goes up there and try to work her ass off and show folks, look, I can work too. And I'm gonna say it again. Yes, Nikki Bella is way better than Brie Bella. Brie Bella she's just like, here, you're Nikki's sister and you're married to Daniel Bryan, so we'll put you in the ring. But Nikki is a wrestler. Brie Bella is just an entertainer, in my opinion. But those two worked well together. Once again, I think this is probably their best match out of their feud. What a crazy spot that Nikki and Charlotte did when they were on the top of the ropes, and Charlotte did that flip, and Nikki landed on her back. Like, when do you see the Divas do shit like that? When's the last time we seen the Divas do something like that? And another spot they did is when Nikki did the Alabama Slam on the apron. When have you seen the Divas do that? When's the last time you've seen them do something like that? Props to those girls. You guys' thoughts on the Divas? Tom? I thought the match was good. Definitely, like I said, it was good. In the loose sense, it wasn't, that good, but still very solid. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Yeah, Nikki has her bad moments, but dude, Nikki is a workhorse. Dude, she can go out there and have a good, solid match when she needs to. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. People like to go around and trash Nikki Bella. You can trash Brie, that's fine, because she sucks. But, I wouldn't say she sucks, but I would say she's not on par in the ring as most of the Divas. But, I mean, Nikki just looked really good last night. I might go as far as to say she might be even better of a workhorse than Charlotte. I mean, a lot of that match wasn't Charlotte. A lot of that match was Nikki.
Yeah, it was.
Like, if you look back at the different spots, and not just even the Alabama Slam onto the ring apron, but just the smaller little spots. Nikki really looked good. Charlotte's like she's okay, but I see her as still being one of the weaker divas in the ring as compared to, you know, what we see on NXT and on the main roster. You know, it's, like I said, it's funny. You look at a girl like Charlotte, who's going to get all the push in the world.
Would you say Charlotte's overrated?
I don't want to say overrated because, like, she's still, like, people forget she hasn't been wrestling that long. You know, girls like her and Sasha Banks and, like, they haven't been wrestling that long. You know, they're still kind of learning. Obviously, if you go by comparison, if you throw Charlotte in the ring and you throw Asuka in the ring, obviously one woman is a lot more seasoned and can put on great matches, and a girl like Asuka, who's been wrestling for over a decade plus, compared to a girl like Charlotte, who's only been wrestling for a couple of years. So you can see the differences. I wouldn't say overrated. She still has a lot to work on. You know, I can see whether you want to bring her up on the main roster. She's Ric Flair's daughter. Give her the push. I get it. But, you know, hopefully, like I said, she could work on some of those things and, like I said, get better with time, you know. Because even, like I said, you look at girls like Trish and Lita, when they first started wrestling, they really weren't that good. You know, they were okay, but it wasn't until after a couple years of wrestling that they really kind of got into their own. And you also need somebody that you can go in there and work with. You know, girls like Trish, you know, she went out there and she had great matches because she was working with Molly Holly, and she was working with Victoria, and she was working with Lita.
Speaking of Molly Holly, I got to put the divas over real quick. Table for Three, go check it out. You got Medusa. Also, you got Ivory and Molly Holly. Go check it out, folks. Pretty good.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it takes two to tango. You know, when you're going to look good in there, you need someone else to look good. So, you know, like I said, that's why I think, you know, WWE is really reaching out toward getting really good women's wrestlers like Asuka and Athena, because when you're getting these women who are still learning, you're going to need to put them against girls who can kind of guide them in the ring. So, well, like I said, we'll see where this goes. Obviously, you know, it's going to be Paige versus Charlotte up next. Let's see where Becky falls in, if Natalya comes back. So there's a couple options for the divas.
Definitely, though. You want to chime in, Oscar? I don't know if you are still out getting bears during this match.
No. I get to watch this match. Yeah, I mean, it was not a bathroom break match, I'll tell you that. I like Nikki's outfit, by the way, and yeah, it was a good match, like you guys said. I mean, it was probably one of the best women's matches we've seen in the pay-per-view in a while. I mean, we've been seeing women's matches in WWE, like in Raws and stuff, but in the pay-per-view, it's been like a while. As I can remember, I can say, but yeah, I mean, they both fought hard on there. I mean, they both put on a good match. We'll see what's going to go next with this whole Divas thing going on. I mean, when we get to talk Raw, I think I might have an idea where it's going, but it looks like this whole team stuff is going to end pretty soon.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Let's go ahead and move on. Next matchup. We actually, hold on, give me 1 second, guys. We we've got to mention how Becky and Paige came down after Charlotte came up with the victory. But the next matchup was for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, the champ, going against the challenger Kane. This match was started off a little slow. It had, a couple of spots outside, but they botched it out a little bit. To be honest with you, I'm just happy that this whole feud is over with. And Kane is not in the title scene, to be honest with you. You know, it's one of those matches like, okay, let's get this over with. You know, and we know Seth Rollins is gonna win. Basically, you know, basically, you know, Seth Rollins can work with better guys than like a Kane. You know, which we'll talk about the number one contender a little later.
Yeah, you know, this match was just like, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It just kind of, it was definitely really boring. And like, yeah, we mentioned it, and it's just like, I can understand why they did this. It's to finally break off the Kane Seth Rollins storyline. This is kind of, it's not.
They kind of been arguing too in the storylines too, so it was bound to happen.
It makes sense. And if you're going to do a title match on a show like this, okay, it's fine. You know, kind of get it over with. And, you know, there's more interesting stuff that Kane can be involved in, which we saw tonight on Raw, which we'll talk about, which I think is, it's good for Kane because he's not in the main event scene. But, like I said, get it over with. Kane was in the title match. You know, like I said, the guy, he's been a company guy ever since he came in, you know. I don't think he's ever looked out for himself. You know, you hear stories about Kane and how he's like one of the nicest guys. So to give him a title match, okay, go ahead. But the match really just, it wasn't anything special. You know,
it's funny you just said that, Tom. I was talking to somebody. Somebody was like, Kane's been in this company for how long? And only had the belt for overnight? You know, you got to give him something. You got to give him a little bone.
Hey, don't forget, he did have a little short world title run. Remember?
That's what I said.
Well, he had a couple. He had the one where he beat Stone Cold in 98? It was a King of the Ring pay-per-view, the same pay-per-view
Yeah. But I was talking
about... You're talking about the WCW belt?
Yeah, the world title. He had a run on that.
He had two different world title runs. He had the one night one at the King of the Ring where he beat Stone Cold in the first blood match, which was the same pay-per-view, then Foley got tossed off the cell. And
for some reason, I don't count the WCW belt as I don't count the WCW belt as a WWE belt, you know? Like, that's why I kind of didn't mention it.
They merging it, so...
Yeah, and it's considered WWE. It was the WWE World Title. Remember, Kane won Money in the Bank, and then he won the title, and then he had like his feud with the Undertaker. So Kane's only had he only had like 2 world title wins. But like I said,
the ECW belt.
Nobody remembers that. But you know, like I said, Kane's just he's looked out for other people. He hasn't looked out for himself. Like I said, they got this over with. The feud's over. Kane's onto something new. Seth Rollins is onto something new. And just a word of advice to people in WWE: if you're going to do a Spanish announce table spot, make sure the table's going to break. Like we see it. That's going to be on the next edition of Botchamania. You know.
Yeah. When as soon as that happened, I was like, Botchamania. But let's go to the next match. Kevin Owens, your Intercontinental Champion, put his title on the line against Ryback. You know, you guys know how I feel about Ryback, so I'm not going to go say anything. I'm going to go past the next person.
All right, well I may as well give it to Tom because I knew this was going to be a bad match. I just wanted to get something to eat, and the next thing you know, when I got my food, match is over. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
you know,
God,
I'm going to stop playing. I'm going to stop playing.
This was the worst match of the night by far.
Just not a
good match. Just not a good match. I mean, Kevin Owens tried his freaking hardest, but oh my God, it was. First of all, it was a short match. It was just sloppy. It wasn't that interesting. Like I said, the crowd, they love Kevin Owens, but there's only so much you can do. It's just this wasn't a very good match, and this is actually like as soon as I saw like the beginning minute of the match, I kind of knew where the match was going to go, and I'm like, all right, this is going to be a pretty bad match. So this is where I did take my bathroom break. I'm sorry, Kevin Owens, I love you, And, you know, I support
it
you.
It wasn't a Kevin Owens bathroom break. It was a Ryback bathroom break. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet earlier. I tweeted, Ryback's bathroom break, and I put a GIF up of a guy in the bathroom taking a shit.
Yeah. It was a terrible match, not good at all, and yeah, like I said, it was definitely rough. But luckily, it seems like the Kevin Owens Ryback feud is over, and Kevin Owens can maybe move on to something a little bit better.
Yeah. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the main event was next. The dead man, the phenom, the Undertaker, when he gets the beast, Brock Lesnar, in a Hell in a Cell. And everybody thought this match was going to be, like, not so good, but Brock and Undertaker delivered twice in a row, maybe 3 times in a row. All 3 of the matches were pretty good. I don't know which one I could say was the best, but all 3 were good, in my opinion. Crazy spots in the match. Brock bleeding, busted open. Guys ripping the fucking mat apart. I felt like I was at Bound for Glory again. This shit, watching Bully Ray take the mat apart. I don't know if you guys remember that. I'm pretty sure Oscar does.
Yeah, that mat. When you ripped the mat up there.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar put up a Bully Ray, and dude's getting fucking chokeslammed on wood, getting fucking F5'd on wood. Shit was crazy. I just gotta give props to Taker and Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew we were gonna see some blood in this match. Even though I don't buy the rumor that McMahon and Kevin Dunn was going crazy, that there's blood in the match. It must be. It has to be. This is the 3rd and final match. I've seen a worse Hell in a Cell match between the two. Like, if you guys, anybody remember it back, it was a No Mercy 03 or 2. They had a Hell in a Cell match, and it was worse. I mean, Undertaker had a broken hand. Brock ripped his freaking cast off, stomping on it. Taker was bleeding like crazy. I mean, that was a violent match right there. But yeah, I mean, this was I don't want to say it was not that violent. I mean, I like the part when Brock pushed the doctor back. I like how Brock was trying to give him multiple F5s to freaking beat him, but he would still kick out. I like it, like when they were going outside using the fans. But yeah, I mean, it just felt like this is the end. We're not going to see an Undertaker Brock match. This probably going to be the last time we'll see those two get it on ever in their careers. But hats off Undertaker. He's still doing it. He's 50 years old, still doing it. And we'll see what's next for Brock and Undertaker. We might have an idea what's next for Brock and Undertaker. So
we definitely got the idea of what's going on with Taker, which we'll get into a bit.
Yeah.
But after the match was done, after Brock Lesnar won, it really seemed like that was Taker's last match. Everybody got up, thank you Taker chants. Everybody was clapping. I almost had a tear come down. Like I might be witnessing Taker's last match here. I don't know how Oscar felt, but like I was getting very emotional, dude. Like, 'cause I watched this guy, make his debut, 1990 Survivor Series, Ted DiBiase's team. I was like, wow, like this is it. And out of nowhere,
I was gonna say I was feeling the same way. Like I was remembering when the first time I saw Undertaker wrestle in person was in the LA Sports Arena where he wrestled the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, I look back from then until now, I was thinking, this could be the last time I see him wrestle in person, because I'm not planning to go to WrestleMania 32, just to put it out there. And this could be the last time I see him wrestle in person. And out of all the times I've seen him, I mean, this match was probably one of the best ones. I mean, I've seen some bullshit matches, like his match with Brock, actually, at Unforgiven 02. I thought that was bullshit. But yeah, I was happy to get to see him wrestle with guys like Booker T. Being in tag matches with him and Batista against John Cena and Shawn Michaels. Got to see him return out of nowhere, and we started to see with CM Punk. I mean, there's a lot of moments I could give out. Also the moment where I get to witness him and Austin had a little tag team title run, and he's carrying both the titles and started the whole feud between Undertaker and Austin for SummerSlam '98. So there's a lot of moments I've seen Undertaker live in person. So
let's not forget WrestleMania against Bray Wyatt. And speaking of Bray Wyatt,
and also Randy Orton too, WrestleMania 21. That was a good match as well at Staples Center.
I don't know if I asked what I was trying to do right there. Speaking of Bray Wyatt, that hit. And then the Wyatt's music hit out of nowhere. I was right next to my boy Mark. Shout out to Mark. I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't see that coming whatsoever. That was just like, oh, here, fans, have fun. The Wyatts come out. You see Luke. You see Strong. You see Eric Rowan and Bray all together as one. The Wyatts all walk down together. I'm like, oh shit. What's gonna happen? Are they gonna? Is Taker gonna swerve us and join the Wyatts? What's gonna happen? Like, of course that didn't happen. They beat the shit out of Taker, and they basically stole him. Like, they kidnapped him. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, what's gonna happen here? Being there live, like, the feeling, like, I'm like, oh shit. You're real quick before we go to Tom. Your thoughts on this Oscar, because you were there live too. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
Well, you get a standing ovation. I mean, if you remember, during the show, they were showing the whole little advertisement for Survivor Series at 25 years of Undertaker. So I was thinking, okay, Undertaker's coming back next pay-per-view, probably going to wrestle someone else. He came out. I thought no one was going to come out, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to have get this moment and he just walks away, and maybe we'll see something tonight on Raw that someone challenges him or something, But then when I saw the Wyatts, I was like, holy shit. Then when they were coming out, I was expecting Kane to come out, maybe to help him out. But when I saw him just jumping, I liked it. I liked how the crowd just fucking booed the shit out of the Wyatts during when they're jumping him. And I mean, it feels like something interesting is going to happen in the next few weeks. So I mean, I kind of like the ending, but we'll see where it takes.
When they took him, I thought it was like a kidnap type of situation. Your thoughts on this, Tom?
Yeah, going back to the match first, I thought the match was great. I knew it was going to be brutal. I knew both guys were going to get busted open, like I knew it. Brock, that's the great thing about Brock, is that he can just do whatever he wants. And because he's on that contract and he knows that Vince isn't going to, say anything to him, he's probably like, all right, Taker, you're going to bust me the fuck open. Because Brock got busted open at WrestleMania. He got busted open at SummerSlam. He got busted open a couple of times this year. And I loved it.
It's like Brock is he gets busted open on the easy mode, huh?
And that's what I love about Brock, is that he's just he's just willing to get busted open. And what is Vince going to say? Oh, you're in trouble? He's not going to say you're in trouble to Brock Lesnar. Are you kidding me? But it was a brutal match, a lot of interesting spots, and it was just telling the story of the final time these guys get in the ring and Brock coming out victorious. And when we look back on this, we're gonna remember this storyline, because we're gonna look at the career of the Undertaker and how he was one of the biggest forces, one of the biggest superstars ever in wrestling history, but the one guy he could never or hardly beat was Brock Lesnar. So it's going to be interesting when we look back on this. But it was great stuff, and then it almost turned into an NXT takeover thing, remember when Sami Zayn won the world title against Neville, and then Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn after, and so many people turned off, the network because they're like, oh, it's over, and they missed the Kevin Owens attack. It was almost like this again. I was about to turn it off and be like, oh, it's over. Taker's just going to go off. Maybe he'll raise the arm. But no, Wyatt's come out and freaking chaos ensues. It's funny because this was really reminiscent about what the Ministry used to do back in the Attitude Era. They used to just come out.
Remember Taker used to sacrifice motherfuckers every week on Raw?
Yeah. And they used
those
to
are the days, bro. For all those young kids out there listening, if you ain't seen Undertaker sacrifice somebody week after week after week, please go back on YouTube, because it's probably not on the network, and watch the real Taker.
They have every episode of Raw and the Attitude Era already on the network, so they can watch it on the network as well.
If you don't have the network, then go to YouTube.
But yeah, that. Like I said, that's what it really felt like, and it's so weird because it's like the Undertaker, years later is getting like a taste of what he used to do in the past. But I thought already I saw people fucking complaining. Oh, they're doing another Undertaker Bray Wyatt feud. Oh, this sucks. WWE creative, they can't think of anything. It's like, no.
Another thing a lot of folks don't know, they've been actually working on this in dark matches. Remember in Mexico, Taker and Kane already teamed up against the Wyatts. So this has already been going on. This has already been talked about, for those folks that don't know. So
and the thing is that you can rehash storylines if they're done right. The whole thing could be, Bray Wyatt, he didn't get the victory over Taker at WrestleMania, but this time he's going full force. And you know what? This is the best that Bray Wyatt has ever looked. From last night and tonight, this is the best Bray Wyatt's ever looked. He looks like that monster that he was built up to be.
I think we got to talk about that promo tonight then. Like, we got to skip to that promo now because it makes perfect sense for us to talk about it right now. He basically knows that he's going back for Taker because he's not satisfied of what happened at that Mania. And he needs basically to take Taker's soul is what he said. It was something like that, how he said it. I can't say it as good as he delivers his promos. But if Taker puts over Bray Wyatt, that's a big deal. That's all I have to say. Definitely needs to be done.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, Bray Wyatt, I think, really needs it because if they're going to build this guy up as, like, the next big monster, you need to make him look that way. And it's just been, you build up Bray Wyatt with all these promos, and then he loses. You build Bray Wyatt up with all these promos, and then he loses. Same thing over and over again. And like I said, the last two nights is the best that Bray Wyatt has looked in a long while. So we'll see where it goes. But
along with the family too.
Yeah, and like I said, it's four monsters. Bray Wyatt's a big guy, but then you have Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper. Those three guys, they're freaking massive. They're all 6'7" and above, 300 pounds each. It's crazy. It looks truly like an unstoppable stable going on. So, crazy way to end the pay-per-view. And like I said, it makes them out as like clear-cut heels. Now people aren't going to be, like cheering for Bray Wyatt. They're going to be pissed because he took away the spotlight from Taker. And
in the middle of his promo tonight, you get the what's. When the last time Bray Wyatt got what's in his promos?
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to everybody right now that's playing WWE 2K16. It is actually out in the East Coast, so all the East Coast folks are playing it right now. Shout out to them. I'll be playing it a little later tonight. But we can continue. Should we take a break? Let's take a quick break because I got some news, some injuries that have been announced. Some folks have been injured and have been pulled out of certain matches. And then we'll get to Raw talk. So we'll be right back.
What's up? This is the phenomenal AJ Styles down here in LA, kicking it with the PWG, busting my tail. Freaking great tournament. The Bola tournament is freaking amazing. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, everybody and anybody needs to listen to Wrestling Heads podcast.
You know what? I'm sick of this blog talk radio shit. They still don't want to play our fucking commercials. So I'm like hitting the ball right now. Let's hit another one then.
Give him a call.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that ASAP. Hold on.
Hey guys, this is Pikachu, and I'm challenging Wrestling Heads Radio to a Pokemon battle. Boom, baby.
Hello, my friends. This is Matt Sydal, former WWE Tag Team Champion, Slammy Award winner.
My name is Rich Swan, and we're at PWG, but you are now listening to the Wrestlehead Radio.
Hello, my friends. This is Matt Sydal, former WWE Tag Team Champion, Slammy.
Oh, no.
I swear, we have to get these Seidels picks over here on this damn board.
I don't know how you can. When I do the board, I know which is the difference.
It says Seidel, and I looked at I thought it was ours. I might have to change the name to Matt Seidel for ours.
I don't even wear.
Hey,
come on, man. I don't even wear glasses. Come on.
Hey, I need to sit in the corner for that one, right?
Yeah, right. You do.
Oh shit. I want to give a shout out to Jocelyn. She's actually listening. She's been a follower of ours for a long fucking time. She's been following us since True God was on here on WH Radio. Shout out to her. She's listening right now. I want to give a shout out to all the folks that I met at Hell in a Cell. I met this lady who had a T-shirt on. It said she's a podcast nerd, so I gave her the access to find us. I hope she's listening. Shout out to her. Shout out to all the fans listening for the first time. Shout out to everybody that has been listening weekly. Shout out to all the folks that subscribed to us. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the folks out there.
You know you really need to shout out to? Shout out to Corey Graves.
Shout out to my boy Corey Graves. Cool dude. Chopped it up with him this past weekend. Gave him a WHT shirt. Shout out to him. Yeah. But I got some news. A couple guys that have been injured. They got injured. My boy AJ Styles had an injury, and he basically got pulled out of a match because he's he's supposed to be part of a matchup in the Ring of Honor. He got hurt at the King of Pro Wrestling match with Okada. I believe it's a back injury. I want to say.
Yeah, it's a back injury. It's a back injury.
Yeah, so dude has a back injury, and our boy ACH suffered a concussion. Sucks because both of these guys are part of the ROH show, which is coming up soon. AJ Styles is supposed to face Jay Lethal. Hopefully that still happens. It's supposed to be at their final battle show. Hopefully he's still good to go. I'm looking at the final battle card right now, and Brutal Bob Evans and Cheeseburger are on fucking final battle. Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal Bob.
About AJ, I know. But as for AJ Styles, I mean, his injury is, he's not going to keep him out of final battle, so he'll be back in. I think he's even going to return to the next set of tapings for Ring of Honor when they build up their match with Jay Lethal. I'm thinking that's where they're going because he did win the number contender match. So I guess
Speaking
for
of
him,
Jay Lethal, speaking of Jay Lethal, he dropped his TV title to our boy, Roddy fucking Strong. Roderick Strong's your new ROH TV champ. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but it is out there already. It's already out there for folks that read spoilers, or who are on Twitter that see pictures. It's already out there. So Roddy Strong's your new TV champ. So he should be getting the title on ROH TV or something probably soon. And I have some more news. Oh, go ahead. Did you want to say something?
No, I think probably like a month. But go ahead.
Did you want to say something about the injuries and Roddy winning his TV title, Tom? Before I move on with this next news.
Yeah, hopefully Styles is back for that big bout against Lethal in Final Battles. So we'll see what happens with that. We're going to hope him and Ifiat are good. Wish him well. Good to see Roddy win that TV title. Definitely deserved it. Roddy's been a freaking monster in 2015, putting on some of the best matches. We've been talking about it all year, how he's a candidate for Wrestler of the Year. He is going to be up there.
It's real hard because Jay Lethal's another one too, and AJ Styles. That's three guys that's definitely top five right there. I kind of feel like nothing against the Japanese guys, but I kind of feel like none of them are really up there right now.
I gotta disagree with you on that. I think you'll see once we do.
At least I'm talking about top three.
I think Okada could easily could be put in the top three. So could Tanahashi. The matches that we've got.
I'm with the Tanahashi too. You know what? We're about to save this conversation for another day because we could talk about that all day.
It's so tough right now. That top five, that top 10 for when we do our top 100 wrestlers of the year.
Man, we are going to be arguing. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be arguing our asses off. And this year, John Cena will be up there, and Randy Orton will be up there. Last year, we said we weren't going to put them in, but we're putting everybody in there. Even girls are going to be involved in this one. So.
But congrats to Roddy. If there's anybody to take the TV title off of Jay Lethal, Roddy deserves it. And, probably a good amount of contenders can face him for the title, make it interesting going forward. And looking forward to it. So congrats, Roddy.
Definitely. I got some news of Tommaso Ciampa. For those that do not know who Tommaso Ciampa is, he is one of the top independent wrestlers in the world, and also he's been working with NXT lately. There's a lot of rumors are going around that he signed, but he is not signing with the WWE as of now. But he will still be working with NXT. So I guess there's a promotion in London. They're doing a storyline or whatnot to promote their next show, saying that Tommaso, I guess there's some type of storyline that he's signing or something. Like you guys are that thirsty for Tommaso to get there? Come on, guys. But so Tommaso's not signing as of now, and it looks like Johnny Gargano is not signing as of now because of what happened at Evolve with him winning. But we'll see what happens with those guys. Let's go. Let's talk about some Monday Night Raw, shall we?
Hold on. Before you go to talk Raw, do you want to talk about that announcement over here in LA that you mentioned?
Sure. Just letting everybody know there is in the LA area that knows about the Inglewood Forum where the Los Angeles Lakers, the Showtime Lakers like Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, those guys played. The WWE is returning to there. They haven't done a show there in years. I used to go there when I was a kid, to watch them. Watch the house shows with Hogan and Savage and those guys and shit. Yeah, go ahead and guess my age now. They should be tickets are actually going to be on sale on the 6th, November 6th, and they're actually doing the show in December 19th. So on the cover, it has Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. Oscar thinks it's going to be a network show. If it's a network show, I'm going. Regardless, I'm going. Because my friend Elma, she actually wants to go. I didn't know she was a wrestling fan to now. She wants to go. So hey, let's fucking jam.
Hold on, Skid. Question: does he drive?
I don't know.
Okay, making sure because the forum is 1 mile where I live. I could pretty much might walk there if I want to.
I can Uber my ass over there.
I'm just making sure. All right. Well, I just want to comment and saying that it's crazy that how the forum has been the last couple of years. I actually said maybe 10 years ago or maybe 8 years ago that, the forum is a dump now. It should probably get torn down now. But unfortunately, ever since that One Religion guy gave up his ownership to the guys from the Madison Square Garden, the forum has pretty much been relevant again. Now big-time concerts are happening there now. Boxing is back in the forum now, and it was waiting for wrestling to come back in the forum, and I guess WWE made the first move, and they're going to do the forum the first time in 2 decades. They're doing a show in the forum. And I have to say I did went to one show in the forum when the main event was Bret Hart against Owen Hart for the WWE title. And I can remember from yesterday, I saw guys like Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels, Duke the Thunder Josie, Jerry the King Lawler. I mean, it was a great time. And, I'm happy to go see a wrestling show now right by where I live. Just for our listeners, I don't live nearby Reseda, California. I don't live nearby, Southgate. It's more closer, but I don't live that close. But, or where Lucha Underground is, but going to a show at least like right around the corner from my house, it's freaking awesome. So, I'm planning to go. I can't wait just to go check out in the new forum. This is my first time going in the new forum. I haven't been in the forum since 2003. I went to see a concert there. And, I'm going to see how it is. I mean, if it's big enough to do a Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view, hey, we'll see what happens. But if it's going to be a network special, it'll be cool. I mean, they put Brock Lesnar's picture on the advertisement. Who knows?
Well, for what I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Brock's coming back. It says, from what I'm reading, it says Brock is not expected to return to TV into early 2016.
I will see. I mean, we'll see how this show. But I'm still gonna go. I mean, I did. This is
on eWrestling.com, by the way, folks. So if you've asked me where I found it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I'll just go to the show. I mean, the last time I went to a WWE house show, it was actually a good show. I mean, it was about 2 or 3 years ago. Last time I went to a live show. I mean, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But I'll go to the show and see how it is. I'll see how the new forum is, and it's gonna be great. I'm happy how the forum is now. I mean, it's shocking how it went from it was relevant to unrelevant. It should be fucking torn down. Hell, I learned how to drive in the forum parking lot, so glad to see it back where it was, and hopefully be very successful. Maybe WWE would do bigger things in the forum.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy because me and Oscar heard so many rumors about WWE. They visit them that weekend. But let's go talk about some Monday Night Raw. We opened up Raw with Stephanie McMahon and Triple H coming down the Authority. Basically, they kind of went over, last night, Del Rio's return, him as a new U.S. champ, but Brock Lesnar, Taker's match, all the matches and whatnot. And then they said we want to introduce the man. Of course, Seth Rollins comes out, and they put over Seth. And Seth, I guess he has no words for them or whatnot. And Roman Reigns' music hits, because they basically told him that, we have to find a new contender for you because you basically beat everybody. And it's when Reigns' music hits, and Roman Reigns basically was like, believe I'm coming for you, I'm going to win, or whatnot. You know how Roman Reigns.
Yeah, as much as I hated Raw starting off with a authority promo, see, this is what makes Raw interesting, because at least it set up, that Raw was going to be something different. We were going to see some different matchups, and it set up a purpose. This Raw had a purpose. It wasn't just another Raw with meaningless matches and all that crap. At least
I like how they...
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, we knew going into this Raw that, like I said, the matches were going to mean something. People were going to be invested in them. And that, like I said, it wasn't just pointless six-man tags or pointless tag matches or pointless promos. It had something. And I was looking forward to the different matchups that we could possibly see. And, most of the matchups that we got from the tournament were pretty good. I'm always a fan of tournaments, no matter for what belt it could be. Like I said, I always love all the different tournaments in wrestling. When New Japan has their G1 Climax, or the Super Junior Tag Team Tournament that's going on, or their Tag Team Tournament in December. It doesn't matter. I'm always a big fan of tournaments. So it was, like I said, it was kind of a double-edged sword, because it was the authority coming out on Raw, but at the same time it set up for something different for Raw going forward for the rest of the night.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I like how, how Stephanie was like, each match we have everybody that won the previous night face each other to qualify to face each other in the Fatal 4 by the end of the night. So let's talk about the matches that were booked. You had New Day member Kofi Kingston go against Roman Reigns. I thought this match was pretty. It was okay, because I think Kofi can work with guys like Roman. We all knew Roman Reigns was gonna win, of course, because Kofi Kingston's the tag team champ. Why do we need Kofi Kingston in the Fatal 4-way match? So Reigns goes over, and he qualifies to be in the Fatal 4. I don't know if you guys want to chime in on this match or whatnot, or we can keep moving on.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was pretty. Oh, it was okay. It was decent. I have to say, once again, Roman Reigns pulling it out again. Kofi, I always thought he was not bad, but heck, it didn't start off like, it was a boring match or anything, but it was pretty interesting. It was decent, I could say.
Definitely. Next match. Now, this is every independent fan's dream match. Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. These guys work so well together, and it's not the first time these guys face each other. They faced each other before the WWE days. They travel with each other. This is like easy for these guys. Great match with these two. Chemistry as well is like great. But one thing that bothered me in this match, I love Kevin, but I thought they should have threw Cesaro a bone here and let him qualify.
Well, once again, Cesaro, delivering again. I mean, guy's going like insane. He's all over the fucking ring. I mean, not just the ring, but the ring set. He's like doing like fucking. He does a lot of obstacles. I don't know if you guys know that. He does a lot of obstacles. That's why he's doing all these things on the top rope, jumping over the little edge of the top rope, doing flips and stuff. He does a lot of obstacles. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. But no, the guy can't get tired in a match, The whole Cesaro winning and Owens going forward, all of us want to see Cesaro win the WWE World Heavyweight title, put it that way, but, I don't have a problem having lose to Owens. I love both of those guys. Hopefully Vince realized, gives him his thick skull. It's like, hey, come on, Cesaro, he's not boring. He's not boring the crowd. I don't know why he's boring you. So
Vince McMahon is just in the corner if he thinks Cesaro's boring. If I meet Vince McMahon, I'm gonna say, yo, I'm gonna say these exact words. But, if I ever meet him, I'm gonna say, Vince, Cesaro's not boring. Push him. And real quick before you move on, Oscar, did you see the signs, the push Cesaro signs and stuff last night that the folks had at the Hell in a Cell? Like, people, like, they're like, we love Cesaro. Like, we want to see some love,
like I said a few weeks ago, I said a few weeks ago, the show I did not. Well, when I heard you guys talking about Cesaro on the show I wasn't on, I don't think he's not leaving, but I think he's pushing, the creative team or Vince McMahon. Hey, I'm not boring. Look at Cesaro's fine. Hello, I'm taking it.
Also, by watching another thing, by watching Three at a Table, Table for Three, Cesaro, Kevin, and Dean Ambrose basically made it seem like, us three and, guys like Neville, Seth, basically the indie guys, we can make this company something big. Like, we can have awesome matches. Like, every match could be a main event. Like, if you go watch that, I don't know if you've seen it, they basically like, were like, yo, this is us. This is our company. Like, he was like, Cesaro said these exact words. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at the indie guys right now that's on the main roster. Dean Ambrose is over like crazy, and the thing with Dean Ambrose is he's over with everybody. I saw it a lot on Twitter and different social media. Everybody loves Dean Ambrose. Of course, the people that saw him on his indie days and have been watching him since, we love him. Kind of the more hardcore wrestling fans, not just the casual WWE ones. But the kids love him. The women love him because he's good looking, so he has appeal across the board. Rollins is over. Kevin Owens is over. Cesaro is over. Neville can get over if used properly. His high-flying stuff always gets a good pop from the crowd. These indie guys are able to get over with everybody in the WWE universe if they're allowed to. It's just going to be dependent on how they're booked. So we'll see, but like I said, going to the Kevin Owens-Cesaro match tonight, obviously I want to see this match because I knew it was going to be a good match, but at the same time, it's like, okay, only one of these guys could have moved on to the main event. I'd rather both these guys have been in the main event, but it was still a good match. These guys click well together, which, we've seen before. I've seen for years now, but like I said, good match.
Yeah.
The Kofi Roman Reigns match I thought was pretty good. I thought this is the best. I don't want to say the best that Kofi's looked so far in his career, but it's the most dangerous.
I want to say he has. This is the best he's looked in his career in the WWE. He's so confident out there.
Yeah, because he's been able to go in there with just about anybody, and even though he's a smaller guy and he's a high flyer, he's still made to look like he can get in there with anybody, and because of his high-flying moves...
He changed his style up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, but I like how, like I said, I think this is the best...
What if this is indie Kofi Kingston that we're seeing? Maybe, but like I said, we've been talking about the New Day. Big E. Let's not forget Big E, too. Big E's been killing it, too. And Xavier Woods. I mean, it's funny how we just start talking about the New Day out of nowhere.
Because they're so great. They're so great. Freaking unicorn power. You gotta put the unicorn up, man.
Oh, I got my unicorn up right now as we speak.
It's up right now. But like I said, the first two qualifying matches I thought were really good. Set the tone pretty well. And, I expected Roman to go over. I expected Kevin Owens to go over because you got to put over Roman and you got to put over the Intercontinental Champ.
Yeah. Another thing, next match, you had a backstage segment with PCB, which is Paige, Charlotte, and Becky. And I guess they talked about last night how she's glad that Paige came out last night to support her. And she's like, if I find out that you attacked Natty, there's going to be some consequences. She was like, it's not me. I'm going to change Paige or whatever. And I guess they had a match against the Bellas. The match was like whatever. It was cool. It was solid. Solid Divas match. Bellas went over. Got the win. But after is where the fireworks go off. Becky got pinned by Nikki with the 1-2-3 with the rack attack. And, Charlotte was hugging her to see if she's okay. And Paige is acting like, she's looking at the Bellas and the Fox. And she attacks the shit out of Charlotte. I was like, yes, finally. She attacks Charlotte and she does her finisher on Charlotte and her submission finisher on Charlotte. And then she beats the shit out of Becky Lynch. I'm like, okay, this is my house.
What was the point of turning her face for like 24 hours just for her to turn heel again? I don't get it. Like, I don't know why.
Honestly, the heel turn could have happened last night.
Yeah, but it's like, because I know WWE does this because they want to make the Divas seem like they're like crazy and, they're all over the place and their emotions are out of control because they're women. And I know that's how they're booking it. I know that's how like Vince and all the higher ups want to book it. Is you want to make these women look crazy. All their personalities, they're so crazy and wild, and unpredictable. It's just like, no. Can we just get these women to have some good matches and stop giving a shit about how poorly you're booking it? But yeah, it looks like Paige versus Charlotte's the next thing coming up. I think we all kind of saw this coming. My big thing is just like, all right, where does Becky Lynch fall in? Because
you know what? I'm gonna tell you some tweets I saw. I saw some tweets. Some people were like, "It would be crazy if WWE swerved us and made Becky turn on Charlotte and made it seem like Becky attacked Natty instead of Paige." That would have been a swerve right there.
That could be, but it's just like that's a possibility. But then it's just like, where does it go? Because my main thing is I feel like Becky is really going to get lost in the shuffle because it's like WWE, who they see kind of as the top divas is like the Bellas, obviously, Charlotte, and Paige. And I think Sasha's going to get there. I think once like Team Bad breaks up or whatever, Sasha's going to get her shot or whatever. But it's like, I don't know. I don't feel like they see Becky as on par with those girls. She's not going to get the same type of push or treatment. I could be wrong. I could look back on this particular episode 6 months from now and say, oh, I was wrong about Becky Lynch. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah. You want to chime in on what happened tonight, Oscar?
Yeah, I mean, we should have saw it coming. Paige been acting weird the last few weeks. It was obviously, they were waiting after this feud to end with Charlotte and Nikki and move on with Paige and Charlotte. Like that guy always calls on our show, he said the same thing. He thinks, that Paige and Charlotte will win a Survivor Series, and that's where it looks like it's going. I mean, Don did put up, what was going to do with Becky Lynch? That's a real good question. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll probably add a Divas survival match. Maybe she'll be in there and she'll probably team up with Sasha. And we'll see. We'll see. It's good. I think there's a lot of options you could do, especially Survivor Series where, you can have a lot of classic matches. I mean, I would like to see it go back to the old format where none of these matches will be nothing but classic Survivor Series matches. You don't have to put a lot of single matches or tag matches, But I don't think they're going to go that route, but it would be nice. But we'll see. I mean, hell, maybe Becky will be going against Paige if Paige walks out Divas champion. Who knows? But there's a lot of options that can happen going around with the Divas division. But we'll see. We just got to see the next few weeks what they're going to do with not only with Charlotte and Paige, but other Divas in the roster.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. I mean, I know Paige and I think Paige and Charlotte will also work well together too. So I'm looking forward to that myself. So we'll see what happens. Because there's a lot of rumors that Nikki Bella's gonna take a break, so we'll see what happens with that too. Let's move on. Neville versus Alberto Del Rio, probably one of the matches of the night. These two worked well together. Neville, Del Rio, I think it's their first time ever working together. Del Rio's such a great worker. What a fucking spot in the corner when he basically stumped dude in the face. I mean, WWE just coming out is doing all types of shit. I love it. Like, they're letting these guys do what the fuck they want to nowadays. But I definitely love the match, though, with Neville and Del Rio. Neville with, his spot that he does, when he leaps over the ropes. Crazy matchup. Enjoyed it.
Well, when Zip Culture was backstage with the whole explaining what's going on with Del Rio and Zip Culture's alliance, I guess I fit in that mold because I am American. I was born here and I'm Mexican, so could that count me as a Mexican American? Yeah, maybe I'm another citizen. So if anybody's listening, could contact Zip Culture or Alberto Del Rio. Tell them I'm a citizen and I could join their little clan. I could put a flag, the half Mexican, half American on my wall. So I guess I'm the only Mex-American in this show. So
we, the people. But besides that, this was a great match. I was looking forward to it when they announced that it was going to be Del Rio and Neville. I was like, finally, something fucking new on Raw, something new and interesting for people to watch and the wrestlers to do, and it lives up, I think, to expectations. Each guy, and the main thing with these qualifying matches and the main event as well, the tournament for the title, is that they got time. If you give these guys 5 minutes, no matter how good of a worker you are, you could be Roderick Strong, you could be AJ Styles, you could be Kobashi, you could be some of the best wrestlers ever. If you're only given 5 minutes, you're not going to be able to do a lot. But if you're given 10, 15 minutes, you're able to go out there and put on a good match. Especially if it's a Monday Night Raw, we're not going to see every match 25-minute, kind of main event type match. But you give them 10, 15 minutes on Raw, and they're going to put on a good match. It's entertaining. People were invested in this match. The crowd was electric. And, this wasn't even like a smarky kind of crowd. I think, like, last night's crowd in the Staples Center was a lot more adults as opposed to, there's definitely a lot more kids and women in the audience tonight. But they were still invested in this matchup. I heard some El Patron chants going on. So Del Rio kind of looked around and he's like, "Oh, that's going to follow me." But yeah, and it's like I said, it's good to have a guy like Del Rio back because it adds more interesting matchups. It adds fresh matches for Raws and pay-per-views and stuff like that. And the possibilities, are endless. A Del Rio versus Seth Rollins match, a Del Rio versus Kevin Owens, Del Rio versus Neville, as we saw tonight. God, Del Rio, I don't want to say Del Rio and Sheamus or Del Rio and Ziggler because we've seen that 100 times. As long as Del Rio doesn't face Sheamus or Dolph Ziggler, I'm fine with it because we've seen that enough. So,
he needs to work with new guys, and WWE did the right thing by having him work with somebody new.
And that's what you got to do. You can't keep rehashing the same matches 100 freaking times.
Like a Randy Orton Sheamus.
Yeah, like I said, don't do Del Rio versus Sheamus.
Del Rio and Dean Ambrose would be pretty good.
I think so. I think that could be a really good matchup. I'm trying to think who else could fit into the title picture. Del Rio and like I said, I don't want to say the Ziggler because we've seen that matchup 100 times, and we've seen.
Well, Ziggler's working with Breeze right now, so.
Yeah, and like I said, the last time those guys got into some matchups,
Cesaro and Del Rio will work well too.
Ooh, that would be freaking awesome. Like, you do Del Rio versus Cesaro for the U.S. title. See, and it makes sense because Cesaro was aligned with Zeb Coulter. So you fit that into the story. But you put that on a TLC pay-per-view or Survivor Series, something like that. And you give those guys 10, 15 minutes, it's going to be a great match and people are going to love it. It's so simple. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Del Rio going forward.
Yeah. The next match is a match I really don't want to talk about that much, but Ryback and the Dudley Boys against Rusev, King Barrett, and Sheamus. King Barrett, Rusev, and Sheamus get the win. I don't know if anybody will say anything about this match, but it was a whatever match.
I really liked that victory roll that King Barrett did at the end, where he did that little.
Oh, I saw that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, like
best thing about the match.
These guys can guys like Rusev and King Barrett and Sheamus. They can be entertaining if they're used right, And I think people give like Sheamus a lot of crap. Like, I'm not a big Sheamus fan, but I know that he can go out there and have good matches, when he is needed to, and if he gets time and gets a good storyline. Same thing with Barrett. Same thing with Rusev. It's just how they're booked. But I
have a feeling, speaking of Sheamus, I have a feeling Sheamus and Dean Ambrose are going to work with each other next. If that happens, don't be surprised. Let's head to the next match. Big E was qualified too, or no, he was a qualifier to go against Dolph Ziggler, and Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, and Summer Rae come out. One thing I can say I definitely loved about this, how Tyler Breeze, when he came down, his selfie stick or whatnot, how he laid on the table where Cole, Saxton, and JBO was, and he had his selfie. Basically, you can see on the Titantron. I love it how the Titantron shows him on the phone, which is so dope. And after that, they had the little VIP section when the guy opens it, and they go in there and sit down. That was so dope. Whoever came up with that idea, genius.
Yeah, and it seemed like Tyler Breeze got a pretty good reaction. People knew who he was, and that's what you have to do. You just have to build familiarity with people who don't know him. Like the people who don't watch NXT, you have to kind of introduce who he is.
People need to start watching NXT. If you don't watch NXT, people, you need to watch NXT this week, because Tyler Breeze goes one-on-one against Samoa Joe. So check it out, folks. Plug.
But I thought it was Big E against Ziggler. Yeah, that's right. It was Big E and Ziggler.
Match was decent.
I thought Tyler Breeze was going to cost Dolph Ziggler the match, just like everybody else, but that didn't happen. But Big E was looking good. Ziggler was looking good. Just like I said, not a great match, not a bad match, just a pretty solid match.
I'm pretty sure Prince Pretty and Ziggler are gonna bump some heads on SmackDown. We'll see. Oscar, I know you've been quiet. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Breeze. Well, it's the first time he's been. Well, I won't say a debut in a Raw. He wrestled in a Raw one time, if you guys remember. But I'm like, storyline they're gonna do with Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler. I know it might lead to a Survivor Series match, who knows? But it's gonna be very interesting. I hope it's a lengthy feud. But I'm sure those two guys can pull out good matches. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
they'll still show together. You've seen Zig have great matches, and Breeze. You know what Breeze can do. Those boys are going to be still in the show. I would love to see, just like you said, let them have at least three matches. Tops.
Yeah, I also like how they're changing his character a little bit. It's the same thing in NXT, but it's almost like he has like a lot of power to do it. And like, look at a VIP spot with Summer Rae. You never saw that in NXT. But I like the whole selfie thing and the time trial. Now it's a little different than the one in NXT. But yeah, they're doing something. They're putting time on this guy, and I'm guessing Stitch will buy a selfie stick.
You know what? I was going to buy a selfie stick regardless, not because of Breeze, because I just want a selfie stick.
I don't need that shit, so fuck that. But anyway.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about the match. No? Oscar?
Oh, the Ziggler. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the time. Yeah, the Ziggler and Big E. When I first was watching it, I was like, damn it. These guys were going for the tag team titles at WrestleMania 29. Hell no. Now they're going. Look at a few years later, they're going at it, and they put out a good match. I like the way how Big E running around the ropes and he did that little splash. He does for some reason. He does a bomb ass splash. I'm not gonna lie. It's the same splash he uses when someone's in the apron and he splashes somebody. He does some crazy ass splash. I'll tell you that right now. And for a big guy, he's quick. He's really quick. And yeah, I mean, that match was pretty good. I also liked when he threw Dolph and he tried to get him in the corner or something like that, and he missed, and then how he ended. That was pretty sweet. They showed in the replay, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Right after he won that match, I like the ending of that match. It was pretty cool. But I had fun with both of them. It was a great match.
Definitely. Real quick before I move on, I want to make an announcement real quick. Starting next week, one of our shows, not the Monday show, but the second show will not be a live show. So, folks, letting you know, we will not be live on our second show. So, we probably won't be having no callers or whatnot on the second show, only on the Monday show. Just letting everybody know. There'll be some changes here on the Elite Podcast Network. More news. Check us out on Twitter at WrestlingHeads or follow Elite Podcast Net. All right. Let's move on, guys. Basically, what are they doing with The Miz before we talk about this main event? Because The Miz basically seemed like he was promoting 2K16, and I guess he said he's gonna play better than what Stone Cold was, and I guess when he stunned The Rock and got the 1, 2, 3 on the game, he tried to basically talk like Stone Cold. It was Stone Cold's voice, and Stone Cold showed up, and he basically they promoted the game room, which my boy Matt Grant is on right now, and a couple other friends of mine. And I believe there's some folks on Twitter that we know also that are playing. Hope everybody's having fun right now. But the main event, Ziggler, Del Rio, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns. What an unbelievable matchup. Great main event. I haven't seen a main event like this with fresh faces in the main event in a while. No John Cena around. Loved it. There was no Seth Rollins around. Loved it. It was different, something different. Fatal 4-Way, number one contender match. When I remember we used to see those a lot back in the days in the Attitude Era. Fatal 4 number one contender matches. Now they're starting to bring that back. I like that. Del Rio, he was looking good in the match. Him and Kevin Owens were kind of helping each other out, beating up Roman Reigns. Then later on towards the end of the match is when it got crazy, when Ziggler hit the super kick. I forgot who it was on. I want to say it was on Del Rio. And Kevin Owens did his cannonballs on Del Rio and Ziggler. And when he hit the cannonball on Del Rio, you got Roman Reigns doing his spot that he does outside the ring when he kicks you in the head, like shit was real. And then Owens like get in the ring and like them guys just went at it like, and I guess he was about to do the pop-up powerbomb, and it got reversed to the Superman punch, and then the Spirit 1, 2, 3. What a matchup. Talk to us about your thoughts on that, Tom.
I thought the main event was really good. All four guys went out there and got their spots in. It was fast paced. I definitely like that. There really wasn't like a dull moment in the match. You know, they kept the pace up going throughout the whole thing. You know, like I said, each guy was looking good. But like I said, that stare down at the end between Reigns and Owens got a huge pop.
Fans went nuts.
People were dying to see it, and it was just and that is how fans get invested. No matter if you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan, no matter what, you want to see stuff like that. You want to see Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, and you want to see stuff like that. And like I said, the main event, it felt important. It was an important matchup. It had something on the line. It had, you know, people had something to gain, people had something to lose. It wasn't just another stupid, meaningless, pointless main event. It had something in it that people got invested in.
Like, people knew who were going to win, but just like you said, the energy was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, like I said, we all knew Roman Reigns was going to win. But sometimes, like I said, predictability doesn't determine, you know, how you're going to gauge a matchup. Yeah, we knew Roman Reigns was going to win, but that stare down between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens at the end and the finishing sequence, you know, Kevin Owens doing the super kick and then attempting the pop-up powerbomb and then Roman Reigns countering that into a Superman punch, people were going nuts all over Twitter. People were going absolutely ballistic, insane for that one spot. And they're like, you know, this is great. This is awesome. And it's stuff like that. And I don't think we mentioned before I passed it on to Oscar, we didn't mention the other big thing that happened with Bray Wyatt tonight, did we? We mentioned the promo, but we didn't mention what he did tonight.
We could mention that as soon as we finish this match. Then we'll mention the other thing.
All right. Well, like I said, the main event was good. We all knew Roman Reigns was going to win, but who cares? You know, it'll be fun to see Reigns versus Roman.
A lot of folks out there, I mean, I know some people, some marks out there are probably complaining that Kevin, you know, got pinned. But hey, I mean...
They'll always complain about fucking something. I bet you even if Roman Reigns got pinned by...
I saw people complaining about Del Rio returning.
Yeah, I bet you if Kevin Owens pinned Roman Reigns clean in the ring, people would have said, well, Del Rio should have gotten the pin, or, oh, man, Ziggler should have gotten the pin. You know, he deserves the world. People are always going to find something to complain about. You know, yes, I do some complaining, but... I mean, like I said, in comparison to a lot of people, I like to think that a lot of mine is kind of modest and kind of undertoned. But, yeah, like I said, good main event. This Raw was definitely, I don't want to say it was good. I'd say it was solid because, like I said, nowadays Raws are so bad. Anytime we get something different and new, everyone's kind of saying this is the best Raw ever. I thought it was just a really solid Raw. We had good matches. Storyline, like I said, new storylines are forming. A lot of interesting stuff is happening. And hopefully they can keep it up. Like I said, by the big thing with WWE is, okay, we have a good Raw this week, but next week it'll be another snooze fest. So we'll see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, what a good main event for all the four guys. Give them all props. It's four guys that I like, and they're all getting it on. And we all knew Roman Reigns was going to win this match. I mean, it was obvious. Even there were some rumors that, you know, this was going to happen. And, yeah, it turned out to be a good match. But the way it looks like now, I actually thought of this about a month ago. It looks like we're going to see a new WWE champion at Survivor Series. I could change my prediction when we do our predictions before Survivor Series, but the way it looks like, Seth is going to lose his title.
When Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns had that backstage segment, did you guys think Dean was going to get involved?
No, and I'll tell you why. You're losing John Cena right now, and you're losing Randy Orton right now. You don't need another heel turn. You need some.
Randy Orton. Speaking of Randy Orton, from what I hear, Randy Orton is really not even hurt. Randy Orton basically was like, "Fuck you, I'm not going to be in the pre-show." You know, like he felt disrespected.
Oh, so basically the injury is not legit.
From what I heard, somebody told me.
Okay, well, I'm not
good.
I wasn't aware about that.
Keep Cena and Randy Orton off my TV for a while. It'll be a good change of pace.
All right, well, if you're saying that this is true about Randy Orton, you know, not a good guy with WWE.
I can't confirm, but that's what I hear. Like it sounds like something that Randy Orton would do. Like fuck you, you know.
It doesn't matter if it's just whatever you said is true or this really is an injury. I mean, it's a shoulder injury. Who knows? You know, if say that's legit, that shoulder injury, it's going to take at least a month to heal, at least. So why would you put Dean Ambrose a heel, turn him heel, and then you lose another baby face there? And Del Rio's back, but it doesn't look like he's going to be a baby face. It looks like he's going to stay heel. So why you losing more heels? You need somebody that at least align with Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose is that guy.
All right. Well, it was definitely a great main event tonight. We'll see if they can keep it up next week. Next, let's talk about basically we already talked about the Wyatt promo, but in the middle of the promo, Kane came down, and Kane was ready to attack, Bray, because Bray was out there by himself. But of course, lights go out, and then the Wyatt family appear, and they attack Kane, and then they kidnap Kane and take him in the back. Interesting storyline starts here, and I'm definitely loving it.
Well, 2 weeks in a row, Wyatt dominated the Brothers of Destruction. The question is now, where is this going? Are we going to see a classic Survivor Series match? Are they going to get any help against the four guys? Look at the Wyatt family when they all come out together. That's the fucking four monsters right there walking. I mean, it's hard for me to believe. I know it's wrestling's fake and all that, but I mean, look at it. If you see four big dudes walking the street, you think two other big dudes are gonna knock them down? Hell no. It's got to be like a classic Survivor Series match coming up or something. You got to get a line with two other guys to go against the Wyatts. So, I mean, I just don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, it's hard for me to believe it's gonna be a Brothers Destruction versus Wyatt family. So they got to get in line with someone else in this feud or two. So, interesting where it's going to go with this Survivor Series match, and can't wait for 25 years of Undertaker. He had a great career, So, we'll see where it goes. I mean, there's still questions where the storyline's going. Hopefully we'll find out more next week.
Yeah, Bray and the Wyatt family, taking Undertaker away last night and then taking Kane away tonight. Great stuff. I love when they were just kind of dragging him backstage through the foggy part while Wyatt's singing, he's got the whole world in his hands and all that. Definitely some creepy stuff, but it's excellent stuff. It's that's how Wyatt should have been booked this whole time so far on the main roster. Yeah, and we'll see. It seems like this is pointing to a classic Survivor Series matchup, but who joins Taker and Kane? Like I said, if I'm guessing, you got to think Sting is a big possibility. You got to. I don't know who else. I hope it's not Big Show. I don't want to give WWE any ideas, but I hope See, but that's what I'm thinking. It'll be Taker, Kane, Sting, and Big Show versus the Wyatt family, because you need big guys going against the Wyatt family. So you bring in Sting as the kind of the wow factor, and then you bring in Big Show because he is the biggest guy on the roster.
Fuck no.
So we'll see. But like I said, imagine. Like I said, I think within the next couple of weeks we'll know what's going to happen in that Survivor Series. So can't believe it's been 25 years since Undertaker debuted. I was born in '93, and like I said, Undertaker's been one of my favorites ever since day one. It's funny because my dad, when I was watching Raw tonight, he was like, "Undertaker's still wrestling?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's still going." He was like, "Yeah, you were watching him ever since you were a little kid." He was like, "How old is he? He's got to be 50 years old, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, he's up there. He's up there in age, but he's still going." So it toggles my dad's mind that Undertaker's still going. Guy's had a freaking legendary career. It's so crazy though, because I know we're kind of we're nearing the end of the Undertaker. And,
and I think Bray Wyatt's gonna be the guy to pin him to be the last one, but we'll see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we had a great show tonight. I want to thank everybody who listened in tonight. In case you're not, you should be. Ladies and gentlemen, go to YouTube, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. Subscribe us and listen to all of our interviews with past guests from people like ACH, Silesia Sparks. We had Donovan Dijak not too long ago. We have all types of interviews. Go check them out. Again, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. We're on Twitter @WrestlingHeads. Facebook.com/WrestlingHeads. Check it out. We got interviews up there, pictures and whatnot. Also Instagram @WrestlingHeads. What else we got? Periscope WrestlingHeads. But I'm on Twitter myself @WHSkits. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back if you tweet me. Just don't follow me and think you're going to expect a follow back, because hit me up with a tweet. I'm also on Periscope @WHSkits. Facebook.com/WHSkits, or just look up WHSkits, search me, and I'll add you. I don't care who I add on Facebook, as long as you're a wrestling fan. I think that's all I have, all the plugs I have. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be here. We'll be back on Thursday, and don't forget, put on your calendars. Starting next week on our second show, which is the Thursday show, there'll be recorded shows. So just letting you guys know they won't be live anymore.
All right. Well, you can follow me @Sinister632 on Twitter, Periscope, or Instagram. Just follow me on there. I just want to say what a great weekend we all had. Me and Skits during Hell in a Cell weekend when WWE was in town the whole weekend. Great times out there in the downtown LA area. Shout out to Renee Young, got to meet her this weekend, and shout out once again to Corey Graves for rocking our Wrestling Head shirt. Hope you wear it during one of your shows, Feature Shock. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the show. So hope he wears that with pride. And he likes your Biff Music shirts, Skits, by the way. And just in the next time, and Yeah, and check out check our YouTube out. And thank you guys for listening. I mean, I just saw the numbers of the YouTube last Monday show. They were pretty good. So, yeah, if you listen on YouTube, thank you for listening.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter at @2tweetme. My Periscope is the same thing. Probably will be Periscoping this Saturday night because I will be attending Interspecies Wrestling, Candy Apples and Razor Blades, big show going down. Guys like Chris Dickinson, Team Tremendous are going to be there. Check out the Twitter as well. I'll have pictures up. And, yeah, and I want to see what people are dressing up as, wrestling themed this wise for Halloween. So
my boy Matt Cage dressed up as Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I saw that. Matt Cage doing it big, and of course, like I said, he's doing big in Evolve doing big things. Make sure you guys are checking out your local indie promotions. You know, like I said, some great places: smartmarkvideo.com, highspots.com, all the different on-demand services. Of course, like we mentioned every week, Smash On Demand, AAW Archives, AAW On Demand, Beyond On Demand. It's youtube.com/Beyond Demand. Check that out. New Japan World, Progress On Demand. So much great stuff going out there. So
Rev Pro.
Yeah. Make sure whatever you guys are into, whatever you guys enjoy, check them out. Even if you don't like them, give them a try. Give them some love, and expand your horizons.
Yeah, I want real quick if Jocelyn's still listening, check out some indie shows. I know Ring of Honor always comes to Texas. Check them out. Show them some love. Yeah. I know you're a big John Cena fan or Seth Rollins fan. Check out some guys in ROH. You'll enjoy.
Yeah. And make sure you guys are checking out the rest of the Elite Podcast Network, of course. Weekly Wrestling Podcast at Twitter, at Weekly W Podcast. Our boy Matt Grant always holding it down with the great interviews and great content. I know Indie Power Rankings is live tomorrow night, I believe, starting with the Carolinas Corner at 8 o'clock and then going live at 9. And then they're on for the Tag Team Top 5 reveal every week, Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern. So a lot of big stuff going down for them this week. I know me and Matt were talking about getting WrestleChat going again. Another way to chime in on what's going on in the wrestling world, because we could talk 7 days a week about what's going on in wrestling. There's always something going down. So stay tuned to the Podcast Network. A lot of great stuff going on. And it's going to be a great way to end 2015.
Yeah, and there's rumors out there another podcast might be coming in here on the Elite Podcast Network. So be on the lookout, folks. Until then, to Thursday, I'm Sketch, Tom, and Oscar, and we're out. Peace. Thanks for listening, people.
Peace.
See you next time.